So much for stopping by another live episode of Real Estate Titans. I am your host, Greg Fowler, traveling throughout the marketplace, interviewing the top real estate professionals in our field, from realtors, lenders, builders, developers, residential or commercial, essentially gathering insight, inspiration, what really drives and motivates these top producers above and beyond everybody else, and what I would like to consider a real estate titan. Our very special guest and featured titan today, Monica Breckenridge. Monica, thanks so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
This is awesome. I'm super excited about this episode. I know there's a lot of anticipation out there, so I guess let's just dive right into the series of questions for everybody out there to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
So first question, I guess, tell everybody a little about yourself.
So I've been in real estate since 2007. I actually started off as a real estate investor, and I did a lot of short sales back in the day.
Okay.
I really loved helping people, and I got in when everybody else was getting out. The short sales and foreclosures, I really wanted to help as many people as possible.
Okay.
And when I started as a real estate investor, I really couldn't help everybody, and that's what drove me into opening up my own real estate brokerage.
Okay.
So that was in 2009, and in 2009 I didn't have my real estate license. I actually hired a managing broker to work for me, and I opened the company. I was the owner. I wasn't the licensed agent.
Wow.
So I kind of did everything backwards.
Learning through that? Okay.
I did.
Definitely different.
I had no background experience whatsoever. In real estate, I worked for the police department before this. I started when I was 25 years old.
Okay.
And just dove right in. But opened up Pink Realty in 2009. I didn't actually get licensed until 2012.
Okay.
And
wow, from 9 to 12 that way.
yeah,
Okay. Huh.
yeah. I've always thought of myself as the entrepreneur.
Okay.
It's always what I thought of myself. So.
And I think that there's a lot of interesting notes in there for everybody to kind of take away. Is there's not one way to get it done. You know, you blaze your own trail. Speaking of things that are different that way and not typical, why Pink Realty? What's the behind the name, that sort of thing?
Okay.
Sure, you get asked that all the time.
I do. I get that. People ask me that on a daily basis.
Okay.
So number one, I really love the color pink, but that really wasn't the reason why I named it Pink.
Okay.
When I was looking for a company to name was when I was still on the investment side. I don't know if you've ever seen those bandit signs in the corners that say, "We buy houses."
Mm-hmm.
Well, they always had a phone number, and it always ended in a 4-letter word.
Okay.
So I wanted my sign to end in a 4-letter word. So I had to really think, well, what am I going to do that's going to set myself apart from the competition? Because I don't want to be a number that everybody else is using, something that ended in cash or sell. I want it to be different.
Right.
And I've always known that I don't go with the flow. I'm always like, I'm my own person.
Love it.
So I realized pink is a 4-letter word.
Mm-hmm.
I absolutely love pink. I even had a pink car back when I started.
Love it. Love it.
And it just led from one thing to the next, and I said, wow, it's my 4-letter word for my phone number. It's a color. I can use it as my branding and my marketing. I can have it my name, and it all just works out. And I just thought it was, me personally, I thought it was genius.
Yeah.
So
truly.
I went with it.
I love that. I mean, just answering that question, it's all about marketing, it's perception and exposure. I mean, from time to time I see the now current Pink mobile I saw in the parking lot just in here. It's just awesome. I mean, it's striking, it stands out, and it makes you look.
And another thing is I'm a cancer survivor myself.
Okay.
So I wanted to tie it back to organizations where I can give back. So I donate to Susan G. Komen or other breast cancer foundations.
Wonderful.
And so that was very, near and dear in my heart to be able to give back. And having that pink tying back to organizations where the color is representative of that,
Mm-hmm.
I thought I have to do that.
That's
it
great.
was just
Yeah.
something I had to do.
Perfect
to give back.
fit. Perfect fit
Yes.
into that. So there was a lot of good information into that, and I guess this might be a good time to tail into your why. I mean, Monica, what gets you out of bed in the morning? What makes you do what you do to the level you do it at?
So it was different in the beginning than what it is now.
Okay.
My why in the beginning was helping as many people as possible.
Okay.
During the foreclosure and short sale phase. I really they became my friends and family, and I really wanted to help them avoid foreclosure. There were times where I'd made no money, no commissions, no nothing, just even lost money just to help people.
Okay.
So that really was my why. I had this drive to help as many people as possible.
Okay.
Now that short sales and foreclosures aren't happening right now, I guess my drive is I love building a really successful company. I like the mentorship. I really love helping other people become successful. So I franchised, and that has always been a purpose that I've wanted to do, and to mentor other realtors to become successful just like me, and show them it's not hard. It actually is pretty easy, and I've created the systems already for them. But I just love it. I just love seeing somebody go from not being so successful and showing them how they can become successful. That is a huge thing for me. I just love that. I just love waking up knowing that I can help somebody that way.
And I think that there's a lot of big notes in there for everybody to take away that's watching. I mean, at the beginning, again, giving back to people and helping. I mean,
agree.
it's not about commission.
Right.
You're really affecting lives in a positive. You haven't gotten to the place that you've gotten to today without helping all those people along the way and building rich relationships.
Exactly.
So that's a beautiful tie, but then taking it to another level, which is where you're at right now, talking about success. And success breeds success. You giving back to other professionals and taking the industry to higher notes is a big portion of both of those, of why I like to consider you a real estate titan, is because of that. It's not just production. It comes down to your moral compass and what you do in the community and the impact that you have for your reputation. It's there, Monica. So
the impact is huge because, client satisfaction, having happy clients is a huge thing for me. Having a good brand is very important to me, and it all, ties back to having that perfect brand and relationship with your clients to help out even more people. So I'm very big into that.
Huge. And again, charity, the whole nine, I think that's really good. And I'll have that link down below for different charities, things along those lines in the description for Susan G. So when it comes down to some advice, right, because you're breeding successful entrepreneurs and other professionals in there, I think this is a nice tail into that question. So if you could look back on your career thus far and pick or choose one or two things that you might have adjusted that took your business from one level to the next, what does that look like for you and your brand, Monica?
Oh yeah, that's a good question.
Okay, great. This is good, everybody.
So when I first started, because I didn't know what I was doing, I really was kind of winging it.
Sure.
I never had a broker to work under and to learn from, and never had that experience. I really wish when I started that I had done this. I never knew the client nurturing aspect. I totally skipped that. Everything was get the sale, get it done, get it closed, go on the next one. I never thought of staying in contact with the clients after closing and keeping that forever relationship. So I learned actually in just a 30 minutes, actually it was probably an hour, one of the title companies in town had Brian Buffini at their one of their webinars, I think it was, and I went there. Literally just an hour of me watching that inspired me so much. Like, I'm doing my business wrong this whole time. I just been get it closed, get it done, next sale, and oh my god, it was totally wrong. So now I've completely changed everything, and I wish I started that sooner. Now after every closing, I stay in touch with every single client. We touch them at least 12 times a year.
Huge.
We deliver pop-by gifts to all of our clients every month. This is one of them.
Awesome.
So every month they get a gift from me so that they remember me and my brand. We call them every quarter to see how they're doing. We check in with them, see how their move was, see if there's anything that we can help them with. We deliver pies to them on Christmas. We send them thank you cards, birthday cards, happy anniversary cards. We deliver happy anniversary gifts. And ever since I've been doing all this, I've gone from just having to go spend all this money on marketing to I'm now getting the business coming to me.
Huge.
That is my marketing budget.
Okay.
So 70% of my business comes from repeat, referral, word of mouth.
Love it.
And I really think that 1 hour training session with Brian Buffini.
Thanks, Brian, if you're watching.
I give him shout outs all the time.
That's great.
I learned so much from that 1 hour. It was amazing. and completely changed my business and turned it around. I wish I learned that sooner.
Yeah, right. And that's big advice for a lot of
It's
people out
huge.
there that are watching this and paying attention. The big takeaways, that's something that should be fundamentally done. And there's so many professionals that are just churn and burn, get down to it, make this happen, and they're not
Right.
focusing on what this business is about, which is what
Yeah.
you stated. It's people.
Yes, and
And-
building the relationships. It's very relationship.
Wow, it's huge.
We get so many referrals. Our agents are always getting referrals from their past clients, or coming back to us to list. So I hardly ever lose a past client to another realtor. They always
Wow.
come back to me. They remember me, and they remember the pink, and they remember my gifts, and they love that I think about them throughout the transaction, because most real estate agents started out the way I did.
Sure.
They just close and they're done. They
Right.
don't think about it anymore. That's the wrong way to do it. You have to stay in contact and build that relationship, because that's how you're going to get more business.
Unreal.
Why spend $20,000 on Zillow when you
Sure.
can just spend the money on your clients and your sphere of influence
Right.
and get a better return, where it's a direct referral to you versus you having to get interviewed by, going into a listing interview and you're interviewed by 4 people,
Sure.
and or your competition is 4 other agents.
Mhm.
I don't have competition. They come to me, they know me, they know my experience, so they're direct referrals, word of mouth, and we don't have competition. They say, I want to work with you because they've already made the decision, because they've had that word of mouth
Wow.
through the clients I've already worked with.
And you've over time cultivated and
Yes.
grown, and everybody out there, hopefully, everybody understands there's no magic pill. So you've taken the time, you've built a brand, it's consistency and
Yes.
being honest and truthful, and it comes together.
And it takes, you have to have a database to keep track of everything.
Right.
So I've had to build my own database to track all of my clients and my sphere and trigger tasks and birthdays and all that stuff. So
Perfect.
you have to definitely, if I can give one tidbit, have a database
Okay.
and keep track of everything, and put those reminders in there to mail them their birthday cards.
Mhm.
Stop by on their home anniversary and give them that home anniversary gift. Come by every month and give them a gift.
Okay.
It's gonna make your business go skyrocket. It did for me, just for that 1 hour training
wow,
session I did. I
awesome.
wish I knew that sooner.
You're like, come on, everybody. So, and this is great. I mean, a lot of great information. Hopefully, everybody took huge notes on that. Monica, thanks for sharing, because those are some insights into your business and what
Yes.
you've done. So, let's go into a slightly more challenging question, and it ends up being the challenge, right? It's easy when we go through life and we don't have anything going on, it's just smooth sailing. But when things hit our way that are not the best, right, how we overcome these challenges makes us who we are. So if you could pick a challenge that you've dealt with in your life that you overcame that made you stronger, what does that look like for you?
So I guess one of my biggest challenges was when I first started. You know how I said I thought my brand was genius?
Sure.
That everybody else didn't think that.
Okay. All right.
The other investors didn't like it. The other agents didn't like it. They thought it was silly and childish, and
Wow.
I really thought that it was. I thought it was great and powerful, and I thought, wow, all you have to remember is pink, literally.
That's it.
That is it. But that was a big challenge, because I constantly had to hear from other people, why did you name your company that? That has nothing to do with real estate. And I said, it doesn't have to be real estate.
Nope.
It's just the name,
Right.
and it's a brand, and it all works together. And I had to work through that challenge of knowing that everybody disliked it. Not everybody, but
Okay.
a lot of people did.
There was some pushback.
There was a lot of pushback. But I wasn't going to let that stop me. It actually helped me grow stronger as a person and made me want to prove to them I can do this. I believe in my brand this much, and it was like a proven. I just wanted to prove myself to them,
Sure.
and it kind of gave me a drive. So I'm happy it happened.
I love it.
So that difficult, you always got to turn a difficult situation into a positive. And that's the kind of person that I am. I always turn something negative into a positive. Or
That's huge.
there's a reason behind what's going on. And that reason was for me to drive myself to become a better person and to prove everybody that the brand is wonderful and great.
Wow.
And I still think it is.
Yeah, and it absolutely is. And obviously, the numbers don't lie. I mean, the continuous of business and growth and what you've done, it's there. If it wasn't working, it wouldn't work, right? So overall that time frame, and I think that there's always going to be some pushback or naysayers out there, and that's okay. The innovators, the trailblazers, they're always going to have that.
Yeah.
You wouldn't be where you are today without looking at it that way, and that's all right.
And I'm glad. I'm so happy it happened.
Yeah.
I really am. I appreciate it. I want to thank everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for the doubt. You know, I'm
That's
a
the
big
fuel.
fan. Yeah, it really is. I think that one of my favorite quotes that way is "Let the success make the noise," and that's really what it comes down to.
I like that.
You know, so I think that that's definitely what has gone on and continues to with your brand, Monica. So that's huge. So thanks for sharing the challenge. It's not the easiest thing to add that out for everybody. So let's go on a slightly softer question.
Okay.
It's one of my absolute favorites. So if you could travel back in time and give your younger self a piece of advice or two, it could be personally, professionally, what would you say to younger Monica?
Oh, balance your life. I'm such a workaholic that I don't spend enough time for myself.
Yeah.
I think I would tell myself you need to definitely take some time for yourself, because if you don't, you're going to crash and burn.
Right.
And you have to take time to rejuvenate yourself.
Love it.
So I've always been that workaholic person ever since I was young.
Okay.
But now I finally have a new passion, and it's cycling.
Okay,
And
yeah, cool.
so I wish I started that sooner. It's really helped turn my life around and, helped rejuvenate me, and it's helped build me better, to become a better person. So I wish, if I was younger, I would tell myself to cool down a little bit and take some time for yourself instead of just being such a workaholic, and take some personal time.
Sure.
And I've been doing that lately.
That's huge. I mean, better late than never, right? I mean, that's really comes down to. I know that there's so many other top producing professionals, especially among the Titans, that are very driven, very, very hardworking, and the balance is a big issue.
Yeah.
So you recognize it, you're doing something about it. I think there's so many people out there that can take that, myself included. Hey, take time to smell the roses, appreciate where you've been, and take the time to really enjoy life and the people in your life that you love.
Exactly.
So.
Exactly.
I think that's great. So that's good advice, not just for young Monica, but everybody out there. So hopefully you're writing this down. This is good stuff. So let's talk about the feeding of the mind portion, right?
Okay.
So I think that's important for a lot of other professionals or consumers who are watching this to see, hey, what's Monica reading or watching or learning to grow? So books, podcasts, influencers on social media, what does that look like for you?
That's my favorite topic.
Okay.
Just so you know.
All right. This is great. This is good, everybody. We're getting to the favorites here.
I'm big on the book called The Secret.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it.
I have.
Okay. It's all about the law of attraction.
Okay.
And actually that book is actually fairly new. It's been around probably 15 years or 20 years. I'm not quite sure how long. But I've known about the principles of The Secret, which is the law of attraction, since I was 18. So I've read lots of books on that.
Love it.
I contribute that to my success, because what I think about is what actually happens. Like everything I see in my life that's actually happening right now or in the past is something I visualized myself and thought about, and it's true. It absolutely happens. I'm very passionate about it. Most people think about what they don't want, or think about what they fear.
Interesting.
So, for example, if you're worried about your competition, people think about their competition over and over and over again.
Right.
You shouldn't think about your competition, because you're just driving more energy towards your competition. You need to think about yourself and how you can become a better person and compete with yourself. Don't think about the other person. Think the positive and what can you do to be better. Save your energy for yourself.
I love that.
Or people think about debt all the time. Like, why am I constantly getting debt? Why am I always getting bills? It's because you're constantly thinking about bills.
Wow.
You got to think about success and money and getting checks constantly. I don't think about debt ever. I always think about checks coming in all the time. It's a mindset, and it's constant work. It is. It's a lot of work.
But it's okay.
But you have to constantly think about, what am I thinking about? Was that negative? Oh no, I got to change that.
Right.
But I've been doing this since I was 18.
Right.
And my ex-boyfriend, he taught me about this. And that was the greatest gift I could have ever gotten in my life, was learning about the law of attraction.
Okay.
And that is really the only books I ever read.
Okay.
And is about the law of attraction. I don't read
Perfect.
any real estate books. I don't.
Wow.
The only
Okay.
real estate book I ever read was The Millionaire Real Estate Agent.
Okay.
Love that book.
Sure. Good one.
But other
Classic.
than that, that's how I learned to set up my team. I just read books on the law of attraction. That's all I need. And
Okay.
everything else, the information I need, comes to me because I believe it, I feel it, I know it. And it's a passion of mine. I love it so much. And everybody can do it.
Yeah, and that's big advice out to it, not just for what you're feeding your mind, but thinking differently, mindset. And I know that's a lot of what the top producers really focus on is success, right? Failure breeds failure, success breeds success.
Yes.
There's a meme that I put out a while ago during the Olympics with Michael Phelps, and it was that really famous shot when he was swimming, and I forgot the name of the competitor that he was swimming against. But it was a shot where Michael Phelps was just really focused on swimming, and the competitor was looking at Michael Phelps.
Well, they say that the athletes can think visually before they do their event. They think about their event, and they put things on their brain, and they can see everything that they would be experiencing during the event is happening in their brain. Like the same motions and movements that you would have while doing the event is happening in your brain just from visualization. So if you can visualize it and you see it in the mind, it will happen.
I love it. Winners focus on winning, everybody. That was a huge thing. So that's awesome. And I'll definitely, just so everybody knows, as usual, I'll put the links in the comments below to The Secret. That way everybody can kind of follow along with it. If you haven't read it, you can obviously read it.
That's the one book I think everybody should read. And there's even a movie.
Okay.
It's free.
I'll put the movie link in
On
there too.
Netflix.
So it's there. So awesome, Monica. This has been fantastic. So much information. There's tons and tons of takeaway. Last question to kind of wrap all this up. If you could really sum up your brand with a quote or a mantra that you live by, what does that look like for Monica Breckenridge?
It goes back to The Secret.
Okay.
That's what I live by. That's my mantra. It's always be positive, think what I want, and attract what you want. Not just think it, but feel it with your heart. And know that you already have it, and it's coming.
Wow.
That's what I live by every day, and I preach it to my agents, I preach it to my franchises, and I see them having huge success from it by learning how to change the mind, the mindset. I live by that every day. It's huge.
I love it. I love it. And it comes across through your brand, through your energy, just walking in here. It's fantastic.
Yeah,
Monica,
thank you
so much for being on the show. You are officially a real estate titan.
Thank you.
Thanks again for being on the show. I really, really appreciate it. Everybody, thanks so much for taking the time to tune in to the latest episode of Real Estate Titans. Again, every Tuesday and Friday afternoons, a different titan, a different location. We look forward to catching you guys on the next live episode of Real Estate Titans. Take care.
Bye.